Okay, so I think this should be working. Maybe. If it's not, then, well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, okay, it seems like it's working. So I'm gonna be trying something new, trying this live stream sort of thing. I don't think I've ever done it before on this channel, but I wanted to try it out just because I kind of just realized there's no class tomorrow because it's a holiday. So wanted to try it out, something new. So yeah, that's pretty much it actually. We're just gonna be working on the Elysian Bloom. If nobody's watching this, well, that's unfortunate, but in the end, I think this does upload to YouTube afterwards. So if you're watching this, the VOD, I think they call it, then, well, welcome to just an uncut video of me building. So yeah, and I should probably find a way to get like the chat up here. All right, so okay, hello everybody in the chat. Can you make it a Bedrock ship? Yes, this ship right here will be released on Bedrock, along with the Elysian Empress, which I recently figured out a way to put it on Bedrock. So yeah, it will be on Bedrock. So yeah, once it's finished, of course. But we gotta actually finish it first. So yeah, all right. So I don't even know where to start here. I was just working on this before I went live. So here's this little area if you want to see it. So I think we should just maybe continue with the outside areas here. So yeah, and then a lot has changed since the well, actually, yeah, that's right. You've only seen the first update video. So I've actually recorded the second one already. And I should probably record the third one too. But a lot has changed because I'm trying to get this ship finished before I leave and go back home in a few weeks because I know myself, and I know I'm probably not going to work on it as much um over when I'm at home for summer. So yeah. So and oh, that's not supposed to happen. This is not supposed to be clipped. Whoops. All right, we can just fix this pretty easily. So that seems all done. And then should probably add some armrest to it. That would be pretty smart. All right, hello to the new people who have joined the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just working on the Elysian Bloom. Working on this cruise ship, as you can see. All right, so I wanted to save this and the front area. Is it bigger than the Elysian Empress? See, funny enough, it's not supposed to be, but it is actually kind of similar in size, but I would not say it's bigger. I think Empress is a bit larger in terms of like weight, but they are pretty similar in width and length. It's just that the Empress is much taller, so yeah. Building a Elysian Titanic 2, my version of your company. That sounds pretty cool. I hope that one doesn't sink. That would not be a good look for my brand. So, yeah. And you building your own cruise ship. Yeah, it's pretty fun to build these. Minecraft pretty good way to spend time, you know. And then back here, is this supposed to be a door? Okay, it is. It's 3 wide. That is very annoying. Um, let's see. Okay, we could probably just that is annoying. All right, we'll do this. We'll do this instead. Have this come in 1 block, so it's like that, and then we can just get some stained glass, get some doors, and then just fill it in like this. All right, there we go. Make it look a little more natural like that. And you got the staircase going up there, and you got a nice door right here. And on this side, why is this bricks? Oh, is it because, oh, duh. All right, that's pretty dumb of me. And then here, these are pretty these are pretty small bathrooms, but I think these are going to be more private bathrooms. But I'm going to continue with the brick thing. All right, we just fill these in. And then the floor, I guess we can just continue with the, it's supposed to be like that. I didn't, okay, I used polished instead of unpolished. That's a little weird. All right, sorry if this is a little shaky. I'm not used to streaming. It's pretty new territory for me. Okay, you know what? We'll just do that. We'll live with it. All right. All right. What show got canceled that the fictional cruise ship is from? Can't think of a show that has a cruise ship in it. I can think of a movie though. I know Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. I think that one was the Carnival Dream. So I'm still working on my own interior, mixing your interiors. Need help? With what exactly? Because there's a lot of areas on a ship that use interiors. Well, obviously, we're in one right now. But, all right, we'll get this. And then, this is going to be pretty, ooh, this is going to be pretty weird looking. Yeah, me pushing the door in isn't exactly helping me with the spacing here, is it? Dr. Odyssey. It was an ABC show from last year. I have not heard of that one. Sorry, it got canceled though. That sucks. Okay, maybe do it like this. Yeah, you know what? This can all be bricks. Who cares? Looks like you're Elysian Bloom. All right, well, I will have the second update video out pretty shortly. And then you can actually get a look at what the interior actually looks like. Because I know the first episode didn't exactly do the ship justice in terms of how it will actually look. Looks a little weird in the first one, considering it's so unfinished. And hello, Aviation Kid. All right, we can just do. I have no name for my company. The ships I'm making is under. They have similar names. I mean, you don't have to have like a name for the cruise line. Well, it doesn't have to be in like the ship name. So like there's Elysian Empress. Like I used to just do MS, and then I did like Olympian, MS Triumph, I think. And it worked out pretty well, at least once I switched to Elysian. But you can just make up a company name and then just have it sail under that. It doesn't have to be like, you know, a full brand name. All right, coming in here. Medical drama on a luxury cruise ship. That does sound pretty interesting. All right, so these are going to be like single-use bathrooms because there's no way I can fit a stall in here. So we can just have like a toilet right there and then have a sink right here. Or no, it'd make more sense to have the sink on this side. It's like this. All right, like that. All right, these are not going to be very pretty. I can tell you that. But there's plenty of other bathrooms that look good on this ship, so. What ship do you like better, the older or newer, in terms of what, like in general, or my ships? Because let's say probably if we think about real cruise ships, I definitely do like some of the older designs because I feel like a lot of the newer ships are way too modern. But then again, I just don't really like very modern designs in general. Okay, I don't know why I didn't just do that in terms of the my ships. Well, I definitely like the newer ones better because they're a lot better. So, and then what exactly do you need help with on the interiors? Because I do have a tutorial series that I at least, try to make into a actual tutorial. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I definitely tried on the tutorial series to make it as like I guess easy to follow because I know I'm not a great teacher. I definitely do build very like fast, but definitely did try. But I know a lot of the older episodes on that aren't exactly enthusiastic because I was looking through my older videos the other day and I noticed that my voice sounds very like I guess dry and like low. It almost sounded like I was trying to make my voice deeper than it actually was. So that was pretty funny for that. But all right, we got these bathrooms done. We don't need to work in this boring area anymore. Who cares about this? We're trying to work on some fun stuff, even though I did build a lot of the fun stuff already. But nonetheless, we can come out here and we can take a look at the new ship for the new viewers who popped in while I was working on the bathrooms down there. So you can pretty much see what I've done, uh, even since the last like complaining video I did a few days ago. Yeah, lots been done since because I've just been working on the ship a lot because I've had a lot of free time in the last like few weeks or so. So Bloom would be newer. If we're talking about like a specific canon, Empress would be the newest, and I think Bloom would be like the second newest. Because I do try to like have like a timeline for these ships and build them like in era. So what it would be like accurate to. Because I know like Reverence was supposed to be like a 2015 ship, and then Empress was 2025, and then this would probably be like 2019 or something. Um, but yeah, so and then I build Minecraft cruise ships too. That's nice. I do that too, as you can see. And the only problem with doing a fictional ship, show a handful of spaces. Yeah, that's true. Because obviously with the set pieces on like a show, I'm sure they only have like a few rooms in there. But I mean, it can also be fun to like build the ship and make it kind of your own and kind of what you assume the rest of the ship to look like. So I think that would be pretty fun. How about a cheeky? So I'm not sure what that is. And then I need a theater in the atrium. So I do have two tutorial videos for that. Um, the theater and the atrium. I actually have two videos on the atrium, so you can go into the tutorial series to see that. They're pretty simple, honestly, even if they are big areas. And then the ship will be available for download on Bedrock. I do have to go through my older ships and actually convert them into Bedrock downloads, so I'll try to do that in the future. Not sure when. Hopefully in like the next few weeks. But this one will be on Bedrock. I know that. So yeah, all right. We gotta actually find something to build on. I guess I can just start working through this because I did delete one of the slides because it really wasn't working out. All right. MS Horizon interior tips. Um, Probably just make it look nice. Try to find one color theme that works, like with the entire ship, and then kind of use it like throughout the general areas like the atrium and hallways, and then also like for separate areas have like a sort of theme going on that matches with like the area of the ship that you're building. So I know like some restaurants I have like a name and the theme kind of fits with it. Oh, my shipyard. Oh, so I mean I could, but this is on a server and I'm not the owner of the server, so I don't actually have access to the files. But I could definitely ask for like the world download in the future. So maybe I'll do that. That would be pretty cool to have this up for download. But first, I think it would make sense if I actually finish some of the projects in here. And then if I do it for you, then it's not exactly you building it, is it? So I think you should try to build it yourself, and work through the trials and errors of that, because I think that would be, a pretty interesting learning experience for building. And then I gotta find something. All right, we can just go up here, do some seating up here, because that's always fun. So, like this, maybe have you can get to like a acacia. I think that would look pretty nice up here. So have these seats and like pairs, and then we can do like this. All right, The ship is white and it's based off of Carnival Vista. That's a good ship to base your fictional ship off of. I do like the Vista quite a bit. I sold on her, I think, once a few years ago, or well, 8 years ago. No, 9 years ago. Oh, God, it's been a while. It's kind of scary to think about. All right, so when did you start building ships? Honestly, so probably like 2012 on Minecraft Pocket Edition. And then I started building like actual ships on Java Edition or on the computer in 2014. So it's been a while. But, you know, it's been fun. Because you can see I have videos on my older ships touring them. And you can see the older ships. So those were the ones that I built in 2014. So those were like the first ships I built on the computer edition. And then maybe we can put some leaves behind this one. I think that could look nice. Just spam leaves everywhere. That's a pretty good strategy to have. And then you have any idea? My ship interiors look like Elysian Bloom. I mean, I can show you here what the interiors of this ship looks like. So you just come through here. So you can pretty much see, you know, what the interior kind of looks like, the general idea of the interior. As you can see, oh, that's not right. All right, there we go. We're fixing the ship on camera. And then how many blocks high is each deck? So the entertainment areas, like these decks, are 4 blocks high, and then or 5 blocks high, and then the balcony decks are 4 blocks wide. And then what is the Bloom and its sister ships classes in its fleet? So the sister ships, I don't think I've actually made names for them, but it is the Bloom class. So yeah, and then what's the best cruise ship you went on? So I've gone on Symphony of the Seas, and it was pretty nice. At the time, it was still the largest ship in the world. But honestly, the favorite ship I've been on is probably the Carnival Jubilee. I really like that ship. I just thought it was a really good direction for Carnival. So I'm definitely excited to see like some of the newer ships in that class. So what length do you recommend? So the basic dimensions for a ship, I would probably say 300 blocks long and 37 blocks wide or 35 blocks wide. That's a pretty basic. That's around the size of the Dream class in 1-to-1. So that's kind of the general size I would advise. If you want to do smaller, I would do like 280 by 35. But yeah. All right. We come in here or come out here. That's what I meant to say. And then come back here. So back here, I wanted to think. Can I make it a little more daytime? I feel like that'd be nice. There we go. Now we can actually see what class is Bloom in. It is a part of the Bloom class. It's the lead ship in this class. So the Elysian Bloom looks lovely. Thank you. So back here, so we got this like wave rider thing, and honestly, I'm not really sure like how to make it look natural, but I think I can just do something like this. Make this 5 blocks wide. And have like the waiting line start here. Fill it with carpet. And then around here, we can add, I do have an idea for this. So it's supposed to be like the fun area. So we can add like a, not shuffleboard, because that's not fun, if we're being real. Where can I book tickets on Bloom? You can sail on her when the ship goes up for download. So hopefully in like a month. That's kind of the timeline I'm working on here. And then is the Bloom and Empress in the same class in your fleet? No. So the Empress all the way over there is a part of the Empress class, and then this is a part of the Bloom class. So they're pretty different overall. And I need carpet. And then we can go like a Actually, we should probably build two. That would make more sense. Just like that. All right, there we go. Go around like this. I'll show you a little trick I have for building pool tables. I was talking about one of my last videos, but I never got around to actually doing it. I like using green because I feel like all pool tables are green. We can do like this, and then on this one we can have it over here. I just fill the bottom with trapdoors like this, and then I put carpet over the top. So it's like that. So you can kind of see the pool stick coming out from the table. It's kind of like resting on it. So I thought that's a pretty cool trick. And then I do like changing the floors around the pool table. That we can just do strip birch log. Just like this. Have a line in the middle so they're separated. And then can you make all the classes in your fleet? So I was actually thinking about that, and here I'll actually show it off over here. I did have an idea for this, to have every single, like, build out every single class. So you can see here I have like the Empress class, and then the Reverence class, and then all the way over here the Olympian class. So I did have an idea to like build the ships out in classes. So maybe I'll do that eventually. But I was working on it for Reverence, but I kind of got lost. So, but it was an idea I had. That would be interesting. You know, since all the ships and classes in real life are like so similar that there's really only a few differences, I thought that'd be pretty, pretty cool to switch it around and such. But yeah, all right. And back here, what's something else we can put besides seating? I feel like seating is just so boring. But I guess it's probably realistic because we have all the, you know what? Let's fly over to Reverence, see what's going on in Reverence, see if I can copy anything, put it into this one. All right. There's no bar on the back of the ship actually. Okay, there's pretty much like nothing new back here that I'm not doing already. So, oh, there's that sand game. Is that supposed to be that sand game? I don't know. All right, we can fly back here now. Should add a cruise ship model. Be interesting, like how to do that in like a lower class, because we can come down here. I know exactly where it is. It's down here, so you can see the Elysian Bloom scale model, except there's nothing in the glass case. So yeah, have you built the engine room yet? No, and I'm not sure if there is going to be an engine room on this ship, because I'm not very good at them. There was an engine room on Reverence, but maybe if I finish it, or finish the actual ship long before the due date, I can actually build an engine room. Because I do have the realistic smoke pipes here. So these actually go down all the way to the bottom of the ship. If I can get down here. So you can see like down here, these go all the way down. So that'd be interesting. Can I get up, please? All right. And we can have it like sideways like this. You want, okay, let's have like big loungers right here. Oops, it's supposed to be right here. All right, like this. And then I need a fence gate for the railings in the middle. What is your favorite Minecraft cruise ship? That, for me, for what I built, definitely Empress or the Panorama model I built. For somebody else's ship, it would have to be the Oasis of the Seas, which is not out yet, but it will be eventually. But I've been seeing it on this server. It's pretty remarkable. So Yeah, but I didn't build that. What's your TikTok? I do not have a TikTok. I do have an Instagram though, so you can follow that. I don't really post on there, and I probably should post more, but yeah, I don't have TikTok though. I don't really know how to use it. I'm a little old for that. All right, and then we can just add like greenery and stuff out here, make the place look nicer. And that is annoying. All right, to fix this, I will simply add that. And we can add a leaf coming out from the top of it, or a tree coming out from the top of it. Just like this. There you go. You got a nice little seating area along with the pool tables, which look, you know, like pool tables. And then right here, this would be the entrance to the water park. So I'll make the floor here blue because that's, color of a water park. And then something I wanted to do. Oh, you can't put hanging signs on diorite walls? That's kind of stupid. Okay. That's good. I wanted to add a sign here. It's like water park entrance, but the trapdoors are making it a little not fun. So I guess we'll just have to make it a little thicker. Do you think you would ever build an icon class ship? Honestly, probably not. I just don't think I have the patience to do that because real life ships building them is already like hard enough, and I don't think I could build icon class. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe a different Royal Caribbean ship. Like I've been on Symphony. I don't even know if I'd build that, but yeah, I don't know if I could do icon. That might be a little too difficult for me. It would be fun though. Yeah, of course it doesn't fit. I base my ships off of Carnival ships. Yeah, honestly, same. Just because Carnival is the cruise line I'm most familiar with, I do definitely base a lot of my ships off of Carnival. Although I have tried to do like much cooler designs on my newer ships, and base them more off of like, honestly, probably Celebrity, if I'm being honest. But yeah, all right. I cannot think of water slide names right now, so I'm not even gonna try. But I will add the sort of railings up here. There's supposed to be a wand right here. And I choose class for my ship to be a Elysian Bloom. If you were building, what was it? I know it's up here. Well, if it's the Titanic, I think that would be a different class, wouldn't it? Instead of the Bloom class. All right, there we go. Put all these useless designs in, or details in. What class is the Bloom in? It is a part of the Bloom class. So it's the lead ship in the Bloom class. All right, and in here, I guess we could add more trees. We could add one right here. All right. It's like that. So I think that looks pretty good for like a entertain or not entertainment or yeah, I guess kind of entertainment square, entertainment district. I think it looks pretty passable. I do have to touch that up. That I just think that Wave Rider kind of looks off, but I'll probably do that off camera eventually. Yeah, I think that looks pretty decent so far. So, all right, now we can move on. So one thing I did want to think about was where the ice cream areas on the ship would go. Because I definitely don't have it like down here like it usually should be. So, yeah. All right, and then I think I might build a city around the bloom when it's done, sail to the Bahamian Islands. That would be, that is a great idea. That is a great use of one of my ships, I will say. Yes, that is a great idea. I will tell you that right now. And then, can I post some photos of my ship in your community? Yeah, of course. The community is open for anybody to post in it if you want to. That's kind of like the point, is to um, have an area that you can post your builds and, talk to each other about that stuff. Because I know, like me, replying to it in video isn't exactly, the fastest way to get suggestions. So, and then do you have interior cabins? Yeah, they're right here. So, pretty simple. Um, yeah, and the bathroom right here. So that's what an interior cabin looks like. I actually have to get these out of here because the pool's going to be here. So yeah. All right, and then we can sort of work on these upper deck areas, because I think actually on this ship, all of the entertainment is done. I finished those lower decks yesterday, so that's nice. My ship join your fleet of Bloom class. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. All right. Would I be able to rework on Bloom if I needed? Yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah, if you want to change anything on the ship, you can do that. Just, make sure you don't try to, claim the ship as your own. But yeah, if you want to, like, I guess remix any of my ships, you can do that, of course. What is the texture pack that you use? So right now, I'm currently using the, come in here, the creator pack. And then the shaders are the complementary shaders, which just got updated, so they actually are able to use Voxy now. Because I was using Photon for a while, because those were the only ones that worked with Voxy, but now complementary finally updated, so that's nice. Hi, I just joined. Hello, 23 Great. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Now, what's like an area I can do that's not related to a video I have planned? I guess the spa area. We can just kind of tool around in the spa area. Try to do as much as possible in here. So, all right, what are the areas over here that I had laid out? Treatment suites. All right, I did have an idea for these. I'm using this for inspiration for a ship I'm building. Good. That is why I upload, so that you guys can get some inspiration for your ships. Because I know it was hard for me when I started to find inspiration, because there wasn't a lot of ships out there. So I just try to be, helpful, I guess. What would be the Bloom's home port? So the home port is Fort Lauderdale. That is the one I have planned. So I do have plans to add themes for that. So later on in the ship. And then, do you know Awesome Guy 376? I do not, because I started this channel after he stopped uploading. So I do not know him, no. And treatment suites. Why is this one? Oh no, it is 5 blocks. Okay. That's nice. All right. Fill in these walls. Get these walls started. And then these are all going to be the same, so I don't think I really have like anything. I can just stack them. So I can just build one and then stack them. So the floor, let's think of a cool floor. I think, here, I'm going to try this. All right, can you do a live working on Radiance? If I work on her again, yeah, I can definitely do that. Like, I want to get this ship out of the way first before I start working on any of my IRL recreations. So, but yeah, definitely. I do plan on doing more live streams. This was kind of just a test to see if like anybody would actually watch, but clearly, people do. So, that's pretty cool. So definitely more live streams planned in the future, though. Nah, we're just gonna call it treatment suite. I don't think I have to get fancy with the whole um numbering the actual rooms. All right, we can fill these in. Why did he stop uploading? I have no idea, but sometimes people just move on. Because people have like actual lives, especially when they get older. So yeah, I'm sure, but I have no idea. And then I also have a cruise line MCL. What does the M stand for? I would be interested to hear that. And then no, we're gonna use walls right here. So let's use prismarine. I like prismarine quite a bit, so. And we can get some chiseled blocks on the top here, make the top half look better. And then in here, I can get some diorite and fill it around like this. And we can get our frog lights and a wall and trapdoors. There we go. Magic cruise lines. Okay, that's a good name for a cruise line. And then I think once I'm done with the TV cruise ship, I want to start working on my cruise line. Because I have like 6 or 5 ships planned for one class. That's a lot of ships. Yeah, definitely. Starting a custom ship is definitely very fun. So yeah, I would definitely do that. All right. And then back here in this corner, I wanted to have a little private shower for the members of this suite. My cruise line ACL. So what does the A stand for in ACL? And then, would you try other games? Not that I don't like MC. I mean, yeah, I'd always be down to do other games. It's just that I don't know if there's like games out there that are really related to, what I do. But if you have like suggestions, I would listen because I might actually already have them installed. And then out here, let's use warped. I don't think I've used that before. Atlas. Okay. That's a really good name for a cruise line. Atlas Cruise Lines. That's pretty cool. We get a trapdoor. Totally not stealing this design from anyone. All right. And then we can get some, no, andesite is what I needed. And then I have cruise lines under it. I have OCL and newly FCL. So I feel like OCL stands for Ocean Cruise Lines, but that's just a hunch I have. I don't know what FCL stands for. Yeah, it's cool though. I like hearing about your guys' custom cruise lines because I've definitely had plenty of my own. But yeah. Oh, fun. Fun cruise lines. You know what, I would book a cruise on Fun Cruise Lines. I feel like that. Yeah, definitely. All right, come in here. Do that. And then back here in this corner, we can just have some shelves. Pretty boring stuff. We can have put some candles down. Pretty fun stuff. My cruise line name is Norwegian Cruise Line. I think that might be already taken. We could put a plant like this. I stole your old tropical cruise lines and made it my own. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't use that brand anymore. So if you want to steal it like that, go ahead. I don't mind. Could we like collab? Maybe, but I'm not sure how that would work because I don't really build on public servers, so I don't really know. Is this good enough to like finish? I don't really know if there's anything else I could put in here. Maybe I have shelves up here. All right, like this. Okay, I think that looks good enough. I don't think we need to do anything too crazy on this. And then we can just stack it too and hope it doesn't mess with the wall over here. And it did, so that's great. Okay. No, we can just stack it once. And then we can do the smart thing, and we can start from this block. And then come over here and stack. And then now that should work. There we go. All right. Pretty cool. And then in here, make sure everything's working. Everything's, you know, working well, which seems like it is. So that is another sort of area done. So these are nice suites. I like them. I think those came out pretty nice. And then we can just add more lights. Like we can have them right here on top of the door. All right. I don't want to build a gym right now, but I can do this because this is pretty simple. All right. Just like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have time because I know this summer I'm not going to be able to build like at all because I'm going to be really busy. So, but we'll see. All right. So here, I mean, this is just a yoga area, so we can just get yoga mats. What, those are like purple, gray, cyan. I mean, yeah, I don't really have any other ideas for this part. There we go. You got yoga mats. Yeah, pretty simple. This area, yeah, it really doesn't have to be that much over here. But it is the Mind and Body Studio, so it does have a nice name. And then here, these areas, I don't know what these are supposed to be. But I think the doors are supposed to be on that side, so I'm just going to close this wall off. Just like that. And then I can get some paintings, and we can just rid the walls with a bunch of paintings. Put something on Bloom that no other ship has. I would have to think about what no other ship has. If you have, like, any suggestions, I could see if I could make space for it. Put a plant here, and we can just build this with a bunch of random paintings. Oh, that's big. All right. If you can't tell, I do really like paintings, so, you know, look at that. You got a nice wall. That's an easy way to put detail. It's not set till 2029 through 2035. See, that is called long-term planning. That is smart. All right. We just finish this hallway off like that. Lazy river on a cruise ship. I don't know. So I know that's like the Carnival Pinnacle had that. But that never got built, so. But I don't know. I honestly don't think there's enough room on the ship. So that might have to wait until my next project because I did actually plan on having that on my next project because the next project is going to be a larger ship, larger than Empress even. So I'll try to do that on that ship because Lazy River definitely sounds cool to have on a cruise ship. And then any good name of my company to be. So if you want a cruise line, I could think of. Not sure. There's definitely plenty of names out there that you could do. I mean, you could do like, I don't know, Dream Cruise Line or Explorer Line, Explorer Cruise Line. I'm not sure. I mean, you could always look up like what I like to do. I like to go on like a thesaurus and I like to look up words and then see like what synonyms there are. And that's kind of how I name a lot of my stuff, especially like areas inside of ships. So, yeah. All right, that is annoying me. I don't know why that's like that. And here, okay, one of these rooms down here definitely has to be a water pump station. So I think that's going to be this one right here because the water park is right above this. So we can set this to Lodestone. American Dream Cruise Line. That sounds like that sounds like a good name, I think. Definitely. Would you put a roller coaster on one of your ships? See, I did actually on my first ship, and then on the I think it was Tropical Spectrum, I had a roller coaster too. So yeah, I don't know if I would do it on one of my newer ships though, because just seeing how it was on the Excellence class on the Carnival, like Mardi Gras Celebration and Jubilee, I honestly wasn't a big fan of the roller coaster. I just think it's a little, I think it's a little tacky, I guess, is what I would say. All right, we can fill this in, and then I mean, what does a pump station look like? I have a bunch of pipes down here. Use like mud wall for the pipes. I have like this going on, and then, oops, we can have a, yeah, there we go. All right, that's pretty cool. Can we see the dining room? Yes. Let me just finish this real quickly. And I mean, what can we even put on this wall? Let's do like pillow fence. There we go. Okay, that does look pretty cool. My ship going to have a roller coaster on my vessel. That is cool. It's always a cool idea to put, cool stuff on your ships. Then over here, we can have some levers and a tripwire. It's like that. And then we can get like a dial. And then could you help me name my first ship in the Fantastic class? It depends what is like what are the central themes around the ship, because you could definitely get a name just based off of that. Like this ship's name is Bloom, so I like having themes of like, greenery and gardens and just basically life in general, and the ability to bloom. So yeah, that's a cool water pump station though. All right, so you want to see the dining room? All right, we can fly down here, come in through here, and this is what the dining room looks like. So I still have to tinker with some stuff up here because I don't think this is going to be what the final version looks like. But around here, yeah, this is what the dining room looks like. So this is the Eden restaurant aboard the ship. So yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. All right, now we can get back to the spa because I would really like to finish the spa. I am so sick of it. On the Empress, I added a roller coaster. That is probably the likely ship that would have a roller coaster out of all my ships. Maybe I'll actually revisit the roller coaster idea on my next ship, um, and see if I can implement it better. Not as like a roller coaster. See, I was thinking of stealing the monorail idea from Pinnacle, so maybe I steal the monorail and the um, lazy river idea from Pinnacle onto my next ship, because I did definitely want to do something like that. Just kind of have the ship, yeah. And then I was thinking fantasy or Fantasia. So your cruise line was fan fantastic or fun? Okay, so fun. It depends. Do you have the fun name in the ship? So would it be like the fantasy fun or the fun fantasy? And soon have Central Park. Yeah, Central Park is pretty cool on the Royal Caribbean ships. I think does yeah, Empress and Olympian have their own sort of Central Park knockoffs, but they're lower on the deck, on the like deck that sticks out. So yeah. All right, and then what do we do here? You know what? I think I could just probably look up uh cruise ship spa area ideas. Cruise ship spa area ideas. What do you got, Google? like the FCL Fantasy or Fantasia. I like Fantasia, honestly. I think that's a pretty unique name for a ship. I think it stands out, which is something that, you know, you probably want for your ship. Okay, these are not telling me anything. See, all these are telling me to have like a pool area, but I don't know if I could do. Okay, wait. These walls are covered in paintings, right? I'm making a mega ship. Should it be Tropical Journey or Tropical Preserence? Tropical Journey or Preserence? I think either of those work, honestly. I think Journeys are pretty like kind of basic. Preserence definitely sounds pretty cool though. And then is this Minecraft? Yes, we are playing Minecraft. Yes. It is indeed the block game that we've been playing. I think I can change this entire wall though. Okay, I'm gonna try it. We're gonna change it to deep slate tiles. We're gonna try to make this into the lasso therapy room. I can change these too. Can I change these? No? Okay, well, we can just change this wall. All right. And then I'm gonna fill this floor with, I think I just filled with deep slate. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna try to make this room into a sort of thalassotherapy room. So I guess we can get a, oh, I cannot tell, thank you. Can the bloom have working elevators? See, that's actually funny that you say that because this ship does not have working elevators. Because we can go in here. These are the elevators. Yeah, they don't exactly work, as you can see. But you know, maybe on my next ship I can try to do that. I'm just not sure how I would do that because usually I would use scaffolding, but I don't really think anybody really used the elevators, so I just kind of made it so the stairs would work. But yeah. And then we can set all of this to deep slate tiles. And we can have some stairs. Now we can have our little door right here. Oops. Yeah, if you want to modify it, make them work, you can. Absolutely. And then one of my ships on my fictional cruise line is named Endeavor. That is a great name. I will say that is a great name for a ship. All right, and then we can use prismarine stairs. Get some slabs right here. And then over here, have the actual pool area itself. So I think, is there a trapdoor that's like full? Not really. Okay. Oops, that's Outlook. Sorry. All right. You can get some stairs like this, and then where is it? Where are they? I know they're here somewhere. There they are. Okay, so this area is pretty honest. Okay, you know what? It's not going to be able to be that tall. It's going to be a pretty weak therapy pool, but I'm sure that's fine. And then what would Bloom's horn sound like? Probably just a basic cruise ship horn. I don't think it would be anything too crazy. Not, I don't think we'd do something like Disney with their, you know, horns, but all right, we can get. Okay, I'm gonna use, yes, I'm gonna use copper trapdoors, even though I don't like them. My ship is having a central park. That is great. That's a good idea. How should I announce the class lineup? I would probably build the first ship and then I would use that as like a teaser and then say like the name of the class and then like coming soon. That's how I would do it. We have like a pane in here, like that. And a wall. And we can fill it in with water. And then this ceiling, what can we do with this ceiling? Let's just do blackstone. All right, just like this. So if you're new to the, if you just joined the stream and you're new to it, we are working on the Elysian bloom right now. Right now we're in the spa area. I know you can't exactly see it because we're in this really dark room, but yes, this is the spa area. All right, and then we can have a nice little plant right here. There we go. And then on like the sides here, we can have these plants hanging over like this. There we go. All right, so that looks pretty, decent. Nothing too crazy. And we can just put some like random signs down here for decoration, like I always do. All right. Okay, we should probably make this an actual entrance. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. What is the tutorial ship's name? The tutorial ship's name is the Elysian Brilliance. Can you show the promenade? Yeah, in a second. I was going to have like the new ship yard built, and then I was going to drive the hole in, take a picture of his teaser saying, "Welcome to Fantastic Class." That sounds smart. That sounds good. Can we see the oasis that you said someone is building? See, if it was my ship, I would, but I don't know. You can go to Dooku 200. He has a series on it on his YouTube channel, so you can go and check that out. It's called Project Oasis, but I definitely will do a showcase video once the ship is finished, which should be pretty soon. So I'm very excited for that. All right, there we go. Get some more lights in here. And then please be okay, it is odd. I have one here. That should be that's 8. And then what? That's 7. Okay, you know what? That works. How do you mark room numbers? So I actually don't mark room numbers on my ships just because that would be extremely hard because there's hundreds of cabins. I just unmark them or leave them unmarked because I don't really see the point in having cabin numbers on these ships because I just feel like that's just kind of a detail that's not really needed. But if you want to do it, that's up to you. But I just feel like it'd be pretty hard. And then what server are you on? It is the C network, which is not it's a private server. So sorry. Didn't the Empress have a Central Park? Yes. It wasn't called Central Park, but it did have something like a Central Park on the side of the ship. But yeah. Can you tour the MS Tropicale? If it was submitted to me on a build showcase, I would, but I don't have a I've never built the Tropicale, so yeah. All right, we just fill in these details so this hallway doesn't look so bland. Like this, kind of, and then we can have like paintings, of course, because I like paintings. Does that work? Is this 4? Okay, I don't like that specific painting though. Ah, there we go. Okay, paintings here. Please stop. I don't like those big paintings. There we go. All right. Now this hallway looks a lot less bland than it did when we started. So that looks pretty cool. All right. And we can just add some more decorations here. And I think this area should probably have a light. There really is no area to put a light, is there? I guess we could stick it like down here. Yeah, sure. All right. That looks fine. And we could put like vines on the side, make it look pretty cool. Like this. How do you not lose motivation to continue building? Trust me, I do. There are plenty of times I have completely lost motivation when building. Most of it, if I lose motivation, then I try to move on to like a different project or a different build. And if I lose motivation like altogether, then I just step away from the game for a few weeks to months. But yeah, I definitely do lose motivation quite a bit. And then, but if I know that I should probably be building, I try to look at other people's builds, like here on the server or like on YouTube, or I look at uh like real life ships. So, or I look at my past ships and see, and try to like sort of challenge myself to build better. That's definitely a thing I do. And then Maritime Nexus built MS Tropical. Okay, I thought so. I have done his Festival or Festival, however you say it. I don't know. Open front superstructure enclosed. This one on this ship is enclosed, but usually I do open because I like having balcony cabins on the front of the ship. But this one is just windows, so it's enclosed. All right. And then does this look decent for a like reception room? Not really sure. Yeah, no, we can do Prismarine here. All right, like this. Can you show the promenade? Yeah, right. Okay, I forgot to do that. All right, let's go down there real quick. Any tips on how to make a good Lido deck? Okay, I'll do this first. I would say detailing deck chairs is pretty smart, but also just having a open layout. But an important thing is having walkways like on your Lido deck, so not every area should be like filled with deck chairs or other things. And then I would also add like private areas like this so you can like sort of rent out. And then also the pool area. Well, this ship doesn't have a pool, but or not yet. But just having a good layout, um, having greenery where it works well and applies well would also be smart. And yeah, and then also separating the adult areas from like the kids areas is another good thing. Nah, I follow you on Instagram. Thank you. I should probably start posting more on Instagram. Um, I really don't right now, but I probably should. And then the promenade is right here. All right. Well, okay. Actually, the promenade's technically over here. So this is what the promenade looks like, if you're wondering. So, yeah, you got this pretty cool area. And then you got all the shops and all that fun stuff. And then it goes all the way over here down this hallway, down over here to the other main hallway, and then all the way back here to the back of the ship. What would you name a ship that's a liner, ocean liner, or cruise ship, like Queen Mary 2? Probably like, well, I've done it before, liner cruise ship, but it was a long time ago. It was called Regal Sovereign because it was under Regal Sailings, which was a secondary like cruise line I had. So I named it Regal Sovereign because I feel like Sovereign works really well as a that sort of a ship. All right, that looks good from the outside. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we can fix the window that I rudely broke. Now come over here. I did this yesterday, so this is pretty much finished. And we can add more paintings. All right, like that. And then this hallway. This is very bland. Okay, but these were a relax room and a thermal room. Are you still working on Bliss? Not at the moment. Right now, I am currently fixated on this ship. But I'll probably start work back up on Bliss. Honestly, in like October, when I get back to school next year. Or maybe I'll just, I don't know. It's a secondary ship, but I'll definitely work on it again. Because it's pretty full, so it wouldn't take much to finish it. But right now I wanted to work on this ship because I kind of like it more. I cannot lie. Ah, come on. Copy. What is the biggest ship you have? The Elysian Empress. Will you ever make a secondary ultra luxury line? Maybe. Maybe. The way I see that would happening is if I like repurpose a ship I already have finished. So like if I repurposed like Reverence into a different cruise line. So, yeah. How do you do the bow? I have a tutorial on that. That is the first episode of my tutorial series where I teach you how to build a bow. And then if you're wondering about like a bow for Elysian Empress, I do plan on doing a tutorial video for that type of bow. You can kind of see the start of one over there. Okay, thermal room, right? How does one build a thermal room? Well, I'm going to start with polished tuff. Another block I really like. So thank you, Mojang, for adding that. And cover that up. And then we're going to use, yes, we're going to use copper for this one. I know. Using the very thing I hate. All right, we're going to go around here. Like this. And then get our hopper. So we're going to have more private showers in here. Just like that. And we can get our banners in that. Okay, I already forgot. How did I do it on over here? God, it's all the way over here. Would you rather build late at night or during the day? Definitely late at night. That is definitely when I get most of my building done. I do prefer building late at night. And then, is this ship inspired by a real-life cruise ship? Honestly, I would say the class itself is probably inspired most by like the Norwegian Escape or Breakaway class. In terms of like size. But other than that, the inside is more based off of, I would say, like maybe Freedom of the Seas, I guess. But yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, what can I put like behind these things? All right, you know, we're just gonna make them look really interesting. And then we can have like this kind of looks like pillows, kind of. Very loose kind of. All right, then we can have like vines going everywhere. Like this. And then the ceiling. Any tips on starting a Minecraft cruise ship YouTube channel? Just make sure you have a good screen recording software and good microphone. Honestly, all you really need to start a YouTube channel is a microphone and a like good streaming because it's quality matters a lot. And then I mean from there I just kind of start recording and then I just kind of start talking about stuff like either while I'm building or I just talk about the builds that I have. But yeah. But if you want to start a YouTube channel, like go ahead. It's really fun because the good thing about it is that you don't really like you don't have to upload, so you don't have to like stick to a schedule or do, you know, whatever you want. You kind of just upload when you feel like it. So that it's definitely fun though. I like it a lot. And then in here, this one, okay, so we have the thermal room, and then this one, we have a quiet room. What would this one be? This is like the last part before we do the gym area. Okay, I'm looking online. Have you ever gotten recognized IRL? I have not shown my face, and my channel is definitely not big enough for me to be recognized by my voice. So, no, I haven't. Ice room. Now, what is the stupidest thing I did on a ship? Stupidest thing I did on a ship. That's a good question. I gotta think for that one. 'Cause I'm sure there is. I'm sure I've done plenty of stupid things. I don't know. I don't want to say I threw stuff overboard because I haven't. Besides golf balls, but I didn't mean to. I just kind of hit the ball too hard. I know I did something on a ship that was stupid, but I don't know. I'm really trying to think about that. Okay, I gotta think of a room to put here. Okay, you know what? Oh, that was loud. This is gonna be a sensory room. So the floor here, I think we're just gonna do deep slate. I like deep slate a lot, so. And then the ceiling. I don't think I've done sandstone. Nah, let's use dark prismarine. Let's get weird. Why not? Select the last room. No, I didn't mean to break the floor. Okay. So, kind of have already have an outline right here. Get trapdoor. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna have to go outside for this one. Place it correctly. Thank you. All right. Would you tour a ship on a Minecraft server? Yeah, absolutely. If you know if there wasn't a whitelist and I can get in, then yeah, for sure. All right. This is gonna be a waterfall right here. Is what we're building. Pane's not gonna work here. No, let's just use oh yeah, let's just use warped right here. Have this go down. Replace this. 551. Put this down. Put a slab down right here. And I did not mean to do that. No, that is not what I wanted to do. No, they're supposed to be right here. There we go. Boom. Awesome waterfall. Because this is a yeah, Century Room. That's right. I made one on NBS. Yeah, I know that server, so if you want me to show it off and if it's like pretty completed, then absolutely. I just need to know the warp location. So I used to build on that server. All right, in the corner here, we can have some leaves. I'm going to put a light in the corner up here. My ship isn't on PMC. Would you still tour it? Yeah, again, if it's on a server that I can access, then yeah, I would. And it's like, you know, has enough to make it into a video. Um, Do you mind if I steal some of your designs for things on my ships, like the pool tables, for instance? Yeah, I mean, I stole the design for the pool table, so yeah, absolutely, you can. Do you do anything sport related specifically? Yeah, I'm a pretty big sports fan. I say pretty big. It's literally like all I do is watch sports. Um, yeah, I play basketball a lot though. Um, I definitely do that. That's easily my favorite sport. Now you want let's have like large loungers in here. Kind of circle around like this. You can have some more leaves like back here. We can have like ice right there for whatever reason. Knicks or Cavs? Well, the Knicks are up 3-0, right? So I would definitely choose the Knicks win that series. I think honestly the Cavs are probably the worst conference finals team I have ever watched in my life. Like probably the worst one since the 2019 Trailblazers. Yeah, but unfortunately, I think whoever wins the West Series with the Thunder and Spurs is probably going to win the championship. But even then, I just don't think anybody can compete with the Thunder right now. I just think they're too good. And then can I have some tips? Yeah, it depends what tips you want. Like specifically, you know. All right, what else can we do in here? I can build some like you can have some like tables. If Knicks win the chip, then New York City is going to be crazy. Yeah, I can imagine that place is crazy when the Knicks win. So that would definitely be honestly, I'd want the Knicks to win just so I can see what how New York reacts to it because that would be awesome. Because the Knicks have been pretty much bad like my entire life, so and they only got good recently. Okay, I have some cruise ship tips. Like the interior. Again, it just really just stick to like one central theme throughout the ship, like I do, and make sure areas aren't too like clustered together. Make sure there's areas where people can walk, and then also have open areas like through the decks, like sort of atriums and overhangs and such. I definitely like doing that a lot. But yeah, and then for detail, I just like using a lot of stairs, slabs, signs, trapdoors, and like shelves. So yeah, those are some tips I have for the interior. Okay, I don't really think anything else can go in here. Unless you want to stick like a little thing over here. All right, that looks pretty decent. Right? All right, like that. And then we can have like a little seating area in between. Like this. And then 2004 Lakers or 2004 Pistons? Well, the Pistons won that series, so yeah, that Pistons team was gritty, man. I think what they made like was it 5 straight Eastern Conference Finals? Yeah, that's like that Pistons team was like the definition of a team. No true superstar, just straight team chemistry and good defense. All right. Yeah, sure. I think that looks decent. All right. I did have kind of an idea here that I wanted to do. No, no. Just gotta get favorite IRL cruise ship and Minecraft cruise ship. My favorite IRL cruise ship would probably have to be the Carnival Jubilee, as that was my last cruise and I absolutely loved it. I think that is a phenomenal ship. especially for like Carnival standards. And then Minecraft cruise ship, either Empress or the Carnival Panorama I built. And then this is just gonna be MJ or LeBum. LeBron's a great player, but Michael Jordan's kind of like a myth, so definitely have to go with him. Plus, he played for Chicago, which is, you know, cooler than Cleveland. Much cooler. All right, we can just add, you know, some of these down here. Make the area look a little cooler. And of course, have some lights. Kobe or MJ? Jordan. Because I feel like Kobe's too similar to Jordan. And Jordan came first, so I'd have to say him. Trying to make these lights like somewhat even, but it's not really working out. Mine is Carnival Horizon. Yeah, that's a good ship. I haven't been on her, but I have been on Vista and Panorama, which are her sister ships, and they're very nice. So, yeah. All right, we need doors here, right? Okay. No. Wait. No. 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 Okay. You think LeBron's retiring next year? Um, Probably. I don't know. He might do one more season, but I just don't think there's really any team he can go to that has a chance of winning. So I think he probably just stays on the Lakers. And then, do you watch F1? No, I do not. I did watch the movie though that came out last year, so it was pretty cool. It's crazy in IMAX. And then, have you been on Princess? No, I haven't. But I can see myself going on Princess. It seems to be a pretty nice cruise line. No, I can't put a painting there. That's annoying. I'm from Australia. That's cool. I like Australia. Royal. Yeah, I've been on Navigator of the Seas and Symphony of the Seas. All right, we are adding a lot of plants in here. This is a very plant heavy spa. And I already did these, right? Yeah. Okay. So, okay, we can do this pretty quickly. This is just a storage room. All right. There we go. CP3 or Kyrie? I like Kyrie more as a player. But I would take Chris Paul over him all time. I've been on. Oh, you've been on Icon of the Seas. Yeah, I'm pretty jealous. That ship looks unbelievable. And then Mariner and Freedom. Yeah, those are two nice ships. All of Royal Caribbean ships are nice. And Hoopland. I don't know. Is that a game or is that like a um? I don't know. Not sure. All right. What can I do here? This hallway's pretty bland. I've never been on a cruise ship. Ah, come on. You got to go on a cruise. It's so fun. Oh, your mom used to work for them? Oh, that's pretty cool. And then, will you ever make a mega ship like 250? Yeah, that I do plan on my next ship being that big. Elysian Odyssey. It's a game about hooping. Okay. I'll have to check it out. All right, there we go. Just add more paintings, make everything look nicer. All right, and then hold on. I'll be right back. Give me like a minute. All right, we are back. Elysian Odyssey before GTA 6. Honestly, at this rate, probably because we haven't even gotten a third trailer yet. I know the release date kind of got confirmed, but still, like, we haven't even gotten a third trailer yet. Oops, sorry if you heard that. I was just making sure my audio worked. Then Green Giant. Oh yeah, we're flight FTC in here. All right, we can just add some paintings back here. All right, now we can go and work on the pretty much final part of the spa. Actually, we've knocked most of the spa area out, so it'd be nice if I could finish this like right here. So I'll probably do this and then end the stream. But this area is pretty large, considering it's a gym. Oh god. Okay, and then my dad hates them. Cruise ships. That is unfortunate. I would have to say because they're great. I mean, especially for like family trips, cruise ships are great because especially for like younger families because you don't have to like, you know, keep an eye out on your kid 24/7 because, you know, you're on a ship and there's only so many places they could go. And then you could also just drop them off like at a one of the kids clubs. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Is this how I build treadmills? I honestly don't remember. I haven't built one in you know what? We can go check it out. Is Carnival Jubilee dead? Nah, she's right there. I've done some things on her. I swear. Like I kind of started the casino, as you can see. Yeah. Maybe I might start working on her like over summer if I want to. It's just so hard to build real life ships in my opinion, but yeah, maybe I'll work on her soon. And then can you give me tips on like the bottom of the ship? I mean pretty much bottom of my ships are pretty basic. They kind of look like this. And then I mean, where's the completed one? Like over here. You can see her right here. It's kind of what they look like. And then here's an actual like completed one with the azapods in. So that's just what mine look like. All right, what was I doing? I was looking for the spa. This is... I think the gym's in here. I think? No. There it is. All right. This is... Okay, this is what they look like. All right, don't mind me. I'm just stealing all my... Just stealing my former projects. I'm too lazy to make new ones. Have you been on Conquest? I have not, but I have been on Carnival Freedom. But I was like 3 years old, so I don't really remember it. All right, we just paste them like right here and we just rebuild them. Okay. So I did do a slab here. There we go. Go, quick start. And then we can just kind of, you know, stack these. Because, I mean, if you know cruise ship gyms, there's plenty of cardio. And then these are supposed to be like the Stairmasters. It's like this. And then I guess we just kind of do this. All right, and we can get some like dye to make these look nicer. Just like that. And then we can get rid of these. We don't need them anymore. I'm going on Conquest in 2 months. Nice. Have fun. I'm going on Star next spring. I'm going to assume that's Star of the Seas. That is fun. That sounds fun. I wish I was going on a cruise, but fortunately not. All right. We can build more of these like this. Ugh, let me through. We can do like one more Stairmaster, and then we can go back to treadmills because I feel like treadmills are better. Kind of. Because the ship doesn't have a jogging track, which a little bit of an oversight by me. When I was actually designing the ship, but I'm sure it's fine. All right, and then over here, this would be the freeway area. So actually, you know what? Get rid of this one. How would you build a water fountain? Like this? Maybe? Does this look like a water fountain? I don't know. Have you been on an NCL? Norwegian? I have not been on a Norwegian cruise. I've actually only been on Carnival and Royal Caribbean, but I would go on Norwegian. Are you a fan of Lego? I was when I was younger. Haven't tapped into it though since. But I did have like I had a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, like the Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman Lego sets. I had those. Norwegian Epic sucks. Yeah, I've been ported next to it. When I went on Sunshine in 2018 out of Port Canaveral, I was next to Epic on embarkation day. Yeah, not the prettiest ship, right? All right, and we can get some benches going like here. And I made this uneven. Genius by me. Thank you. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to live with it. I can push this one forward. All right, these benches are kind of ugly. How did I? All right, you know what? We're gonna do something different with these benches. And then is a 35 block wide ship that's 22 stories tall too top heavy? Probably I would yeah, I'd make it wider. I would try. I would make it at least like probably 41 blocks wide or 39 maybe. But yeah. And then I went on it in 2022 when it was in Europe. Nice. Okay, what are we gonna make our ceilings out of? Gyms usually use like more like whiter sort of lights, so yeah. All right, maybe we do something like this. All right, I think that would work, kind of. And we can do this. And I don't think it needs any more lights, so I think that's pretty much it. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I think I messed that up. Yeah, I think it would have to be 4 blocks actually. Whoops. Ah, that does kind of remove everything though over here. Oh no. Remind me to go out there and fix that after I'm done. Come on, work stair, please. Thank you. Any good buffet name ideas? Usually I just name mine like the name of the ship and then market. Like the one on the buffet on this ship is called the Blue Market. It's not the most creative thing, but I really don't know what else to do. And then what ships inspire you to separate the floor categories like ENT? I don't exactly know what that means. So yeah. All right. Well, we can just, I guess we can just have another line of cardio. And then we can, oh, entertainment. Which ships inspire me? I do like looking at different ships' deck plans. I like looking at MSC mostly for that. I look at a lot of MSC deck plans to sort of figure out what I'm doing with my entertainment. But a lot of the times I just stick to the same thing I've been doing on most of my ships. Oh my god. I have to move this one. This gym area is not looking pretty so far, I will say. But it'll look better, it'll look better. And then isn't the... Okay, come on. Oh yeah, under's your cabin, so I can change the floor finally into like concrete powder, which I've been meaning to do. Okay, and then we can have nice little areas under there. And then over here we can do um like bench presses and stuff. So we can have like 3. I think that would work. And we can get our weights, which I just used terracotta. I have our barbell in the middle. And yeah, okay. Just like that. And yeah, those are weights, kind of, a little bit. Wizards teams might actually be good next year, like playoff level team. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Because I mean the East is awful, so yeah. I mean I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers make it back to the finals next year, considering how bad the East is. Unless the Knicks stay good, which they probably will, but yeah, I can definitely see the Wizards making a like Hornets type of jump this year, especially if they draft either Peterson or DeBonsta. Personally, I like Darren Peterson more, but yeah, I just think DeBonsta should stay in Utah. I think that makes sense for him. And then Cooper Flag or Khan? Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is an unbelievable player, I gotta say. I can't believe Dallas jumped up to get him. That's so unfair. Ugh, this gym is just, ugh. It is not pretty right now. Can't say this is my proudest gym I've built. It's a gym, though. I'll say that. Just plenty of cardio. And then some machines. And then, yeah. Okay. I'm going to now add a little placemat floor here for the lifting section. So I'll go from here all the way back here. If KD didn't leave the Warriors, how many chips would you think Golden State Warriors would have? Well, I think injuries would have caught up eventually, just because the group was aging, like we've seen in real life. I mean, the Warriors have been injured like every single year since 2019, besides like the one time they had everybody healthy in the playoffs and they won the championship. But I mean, with KD and Steph, I think if KD never got hurt in 2019, I think they win that year. 2020, uh, I think they could have won that year too. 2021, they for sure win. That 2021, that that year was so weak in the NBA because everybody was injured that year. I mean that Bucks run. As much as I like Giannis and the Bucks, yeah, that run was a little bit fraudulent. Um, yeah, I think they would have won like 5 together probably. But I think KD would have left either way because he did. I mean, the only reason he went to Golden State was to pretty much clear his name and try to get a winning stamp on him. And then, you know, once he won his 2 rings, he got out of there. So yeah, but I wish he would have stayed though. It would have been fun to see them play more. All right, is there anything else I can really add here? Sounds like a plant because this place is pretty gray. Ah, nope. All right. Okay, I'll definitely go back and touch up this gym, make it look a lot better. But we're gonna do this, and then I'm probably gonna sign off. First of all, I gotta check the I want to check the Spurs Thunder score. Okay, Spurs are up by 12 at halftime. Good. I want that series to go 7. It's a really good series so far. And then Cannon Curry or Deuce Tatum. Right now, I think Deuce is older, and that kid is big, man. That is a like ugh, that's a tall ass kid. Um, but yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. And then, what state do you live in? Wouldn't you like to know? And then why cruise ships? Because I've been going on them my entire life. So, and it was like the first source of motivation for me to sort of tap into the like designer sort of architecture type of thing. And then I also just kind of got good at building them in Minecraft, so I just kind of never stopped. Will you save it and put it into a world? Yes, I will. So I do that with all my ships. It will be available for download eventually. And then please tell me I prepared for this. Ah, all right, you know what? That's fine. It's gonna be birch. It's Cali, isn't it? No, it is not. I have been to California though, but I don't live there. Do you watch the show 911? No, but isn't that the show with like the scene, like the prepare for impact scene that you see all the time on like Twitter? But no, I don't watch it. And then, will you ever make a private island resort like Coco Cane? I do have a plan for that, and I've had a world for like over a year now that I've wanted to do. I wanted to build that, and I have like the dock, and I have the beaches set up, and I have the ships in there, but I don't, and I have like the plan for the water tower or the water park tower, but I haven't gotten around to actually like building the area. I do have it all planned out though, but that's a project for maybe over the summer. I'll tap into that, but we'll see. And sadly, yes, yeah, I don't watch it, but I have seen that clip. It looks interesting. It looks fun. You know, that's the only thing that matters. All right, now we can just flip this. This is gonna be the locker room. All right, like this. This is gonna look a little weird, but it's fine. And this is the locker room if you're wondering what we're building. Have you ever hated a design of a ship so bad that you deleted it? I haven't deleted the entire ship, but I have disliked a design that I changed the entire thing. On the Elysian Reverence, on the last entertainment deck, I had built it fully, but I absolutely hated the design of it. So I just completely deleted the entire deck and rebuilt it. But I haven't actually deleted like an entire ship. Because I make sure to I plan my ships out so that way that specific thing doesn't happen. And they just got renewed for season 10. That is a lot of seasons, but they must have a big audience, so All right, let me just fill this last area in. Put a nice sign on there. Sauna. And then in here in the sauna, we can just have the same floor. Doesn't really matter. And then I'll actually use barrels. Grey's Anatomy season 23. Yeah, I don't know anybody who watches Grey's Anatomy, but apparently everybody does. So yeah, I mean, surely there can't be that many like different, you know, things going on in a hospital, but who knows? And then, all right, here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. So I wanted to have like, so you can like kind of take the coal, you know? But yeah. All right, that's a sauna. And we could put like carpet down, I guess, over it. Maybe not actually. We can just leave it bare like that. Who cares? And then I guess we can have like a design on the wall sort of thing. All right, like that. That's a sauna. Nothing too crazy again. And we can have some more lockers here. I mean, it's lit. Just everyone starting drama and somehow saving lives. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. Would you play Roblox? Maybe. There's definitely a lot of opportunity on Roblox to do videos related to it, so maybe I'll check it out eventually. Like I know there's a cruise ship tycoon one because I actually played it last summer. I built like a massive cruise line in it, but yeah. And then you need benches and a yeah, we can just do mangrove slab, sure. Yeah, sure. You know what? That looks fine. Yeah, you just put some buttons down like this. All right, that's a sauna, or no, that's a locker room. Yes, those are the words I was looking for. Okay, we can just take that block and go all the way back here. Go to that block. Cruise Line Tycoon Series when? You know what? Maybe I'll actually do that. Maybe I will. That actually sounds pretty fun. And make sure everything flipped properly. And it seems like it did. All right, cool. Yeah. That's the spa finished, I think. I actually think we finished the entire spa in this video. Or not video. Sorry, I'm used to recording. In this, yeah, ignore this dead space. We're not doing anything with this. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. I have a great idea. Oh, this is gonna look so cool. An aquarium. Yes. I'm so smart. All right. It's not going to be a very big aquarium, but it's going to be an aquarium. Like that, see? And then we can get like what is it? What's it called? Oh, it's kelp, right? Yeah. All right, how do I make this and so it doesn't spray everywhere around me? And put down like some coral, you know, then we can get some fish. Put like a little light above them. There you go. All right. Look at that. Nice little aquarium. Do tick freeze. Oh yeah, I could have done that. You've been making the best ships? Thank you. It's like building empty ships. Yeah. Yeah, I was playing it. I was last summer. I had like 3 ships on there. I have an idea for elevators. You know how the Carnival Horizon have the elevator buttons on the outside? Yeah, they have that's the class with like the TV screens, right? Then we can have like a little bench, I guess. There we go. All right, cool. This part is annoying me though. There we go. There we go. Nice little aquarium. I use maps to make screens. Ah, yeah. I might do that. Maybe not on this ship, but on the next ship, because I definitely do use maps a lot. I actually tried doing that with Empress, but it was the buttons on the inside of the elevator. But I just couldn't make it really look good. So, all right, what should we name this gym? And then hello, Jad-H5I. Welcome to the stream. All right. All right, that looks pretty decent for a little spa area. Now we can come all the way back here and we can pretty much you make a separate channel for different content. Maybe, maybe. I have thought about that, making a different channel for like the games I play with my friends, but maybe. Uh, okay, I think we would have to do this to make this look good. Ah, that looks off. Everything about this looks weird. Here we go. You can only play Java, no Bedrock. I don't play Bedrock, but the ship will be available to download on Bedrock. All right, there we go. That looks kind of weird, but whatever. I think it looks fine. Maybe replace these ones with trapdoors, like this. All right. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty decent. And last thing is just add some trapdoors like this. All right. So that's pretty much it. I didn't really have anything else planned for the live stream. I really just wanted to sort of work on Bloom and finish the spa area, and that is what we did. So let me just add some seats everywhere, or tables, and make sure everything looks decent. Obviously, I'll go back and, look through it again when I'm actually, it's actually time. Oh, we didn't do this. Okay. You know what? Sure. Let's knock this out quickly because I don't really know what to do for barber shops. But I feel like I have kind of an idea. And we can get barrels that go in between every single one. Tripwire. We can push these back a little bit. And I have like the thing that comes out at the bottom here. And then let me see the atrium. I'll go there in a little bit. And then I finished a ship back in March called the Diamond Destiny. I would love for you to tour it, but it's on Xbox Bedrock. That just depends. Am I able to access like Xbox Bedrock while on computer Bedrock? Because I don't know how that works. I also used to build ships like the Titanic, almost more than 6 ships, but then I forgot to save them. All gone. Ah, it's unfortunate. Nah, can you bring back the Windy City Pizza? Maybe. I don't know if it's on the ship. I don't think there's a pizza place on the ship specifically yet. I think I have to build on the Lido deck, but maybe I'll do that on the Lido deck here. All right. Let me go down to the atrium real quick so you can see it. This is what the atrium looks like, if you're wondering. So, yeah, pretty simple. And I believe it's fully finished. So, yeah. But that is the atrium. All right, where did I come in from? Use the through command. Okay. We got to finish this last area. It's the last area of the spa, and then we're like almost done with the ship, which is incredible, but nope, nope. Come on, work with me. Oh my god, these barrels are gonna kill me. Okay, I put it on the wrong block. Whoops. All right, can I see the theater? Yeah, hold on. All right, and then the last area we can have like back against here. You can have some diorite, and then we can have like some of the the thing they do with the hair, that kind of thing. That's what I was going for. And somehow this is going the wrong way. I don't know how. And okay, you know what? We don't need railings. Okay, you know what? It's just gonna look like that. All right. So like this, and then we can get some plants. All right, and then we can put it in the ceiling like this. Pretty much make everything look like it's supposed to. Come on, let me in. Okay. And fill this in. And you pretty much have like kind of a barbershop sort of thing going on. And then we can use dark oak on these sides. So that the wall looks, normal. All right, I'll go to the theater real quick. All the way down here. And nope, that's not the theater. All right, this is the theater. No, it is not bigger than the Empress. It is actually much smaller, as you can see. That was a point on the ship to make it a little smaller so I had more room for other things. And also there's like sort of several performance areas on the ship. So, yeah. But I didn't want to make a theater too big. I feel like that would be doing too much considering the ship is smaller than Empress. So, yeah. All right, and then go back here. And we can have like a table. And then we can get some wool that acts as like seats. And yeah, so pretty simple. That is lit. Thank you. Could you compare to Empress by looking back at Empress? Yeah, in a second. And then, are you planning on streaming more? Yeah, definitely. This was my first time streaming, and I think it's gone pretty well. So I'll definitely look into streaming more in the future. Yeah, here is Empress's Theater, if you're wondering. So a lot bigger and admittedly a lot better, but I didn't want to make Bloom's Theater too like extravagant. I just wanted to make it a pretty simple area. But yeah. All right. Now we can go back here and pretty much finish up what we were doing. Like on here. All right. You do this for a living? No, actually. I don't make money off any of my ships or YouTube. All right, Barber. It's not not the prettiest name. Yeah, but we can do the cool design that I like doing on the outside. Kind of looks like the barbershop thing. But I can't really do it on this side, can I? You can do it here. Why not? All right. I don't think there's anything else to really do on this side. But we can add a light because that is important. You need lights on your ships. You play a horror game. Maybe. All right. Could you add something of Empress to Bloom? Probably not. Besides like the general areas, like some of the areas I carried over. Like I know, I mean, what? Can't even think of one. I know some of the shops are the same. Like there's a Terminal 1 on this ship too. Um, and like Glimmers at Sea. How far along is this ship to being complete? Pretty close actually, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with the stuff we did today. I mean, we finished pretty much the entire spa, as you can see. And that was pretty much the last main area of the ship. There's like honestly, it's really just the pool area and this front part of the ship that needs to be finished. And I have plans for that to do that in a video. So yeah, this ship should be complete pretty soon, and I am aiming for like June, like late June or early July to finish it. Oh yeah, and there's also this big area that has to be finished too. And then where's guest services? Down at the atrium. Like we can literally poke in. It's right here, as you can see. It's a deck below the atrium. But this will all be in the update video that I do in a little bit. That should be uploaded soon. So I'll show all that off in that video. How fast do you make ships? Usually they take months. Like sometimes they can even take a year. But like this one, I started this one last year. I started this one over a year ago, but I only actually started focusing on it like a month ago, and now it's almost finished. So like the ship looked like that a month ago, and then now it looks like this. So that kind of gives you a pretty general idea of like how quickly I can build, but a lot of it is the motivation. And then what would the itinerary for Bloom look like? Well, out of Fort Lauderdale, it would probably do 6 to 8 day cruises, probably to like Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Bahamas, and then down to like Aruba and Curacao, most likely. But yeah, all right. So we did the spa. That's gonna be it for this live stream. Uh, that's really all I wanted to do was just test it out, work on it. But definitely expect more live streams in the future. Can't promise when, but whenever we do it. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. I'm not really sure how to end live streams. I guess I'd just do it like a video. But if you missed out and you just joined in the last few minutes, pretty much we worked on some stuff up here and down here, and then we did the spa area. And then what plans do you have for your next ship? over here. These are the plans for my next ship, the Elysian Odyssey, as you can see. And then, oh yeah, here's like a kind of like a rough draft I was doing of what I want the ship to look like. So imagine this, except bigger than Empress. That's pretty much what I can tell you. So yeah, hopefully I can finish this ship soon enough, and then we can start working on, the bigger ship, because you always got to go bigger. But yeah, that was it for this live stream. Hope you guys didn't. I have armor on for some reason. Okay, that was it for this live stream. If you guys did enjoy it, stick around. Watch the channel, watch the rest of the channel. I got a lot more content on here. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. And yes, it will be the biggest. I can tell you that. All right. Goodbye. Thanks for joining.